Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Alright, so let's move on to television shows.
Alright, and here we go. Preacher, what did you think? I've been holding on to this for a week. I have so much to say. Go ahead.
So, I'm going to tell you my backstory on it just so you get my point of view. For years and years and years, my friends have been telling me, dude, you need to read Preacher. You need to read Preacher. You need to read Preacher. I've been pushing it off because I just had other stuff to read.
Which is basically, the same introduction that I had. For me, it was one friend that was just like, dude, you got to read Preacher. It's so good. I've been reading it and you got to get into it. And I was like, eventually. And then one day I went over to his house and he was just like, here you go, start reading. And I did. But I would say that you kind of picked it up because you knew the show was coming out?
No? I didn't know it was coming out.
Oh, shit.
I picked it up 2 months or a month ago.
Okay, I picked it up about a year ago.
Yeah, about a month, 2 months ago, I picked it up. It's not like Walking Dead where I had it, I've been reading it for years and then the TV show came on. But anyways, I started reading it maybe 2-3 issues in. I'm only reading a little bit because I have, other current stuff to read. So I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really interesting story and concept.
It's such a different comic from, like, a lot of everything that's going on right now with, like, current comics with, like, the DC Rebirth and all these other different comics. Like, it's so wacky and out there.
What's that spirit that hits him? Is that Genesis? Is that some type of...
Yeah, it's basically like an angel and a demon had intercourse. When the mommy and the daddy love each other very much.
Is that really in the story?
Yeah.
No way. And then that spirit comes down. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's crazy. So that's why I was so excited.
But why does it come down to, spoilers, I guess?
It's because it's like this whole... Yeah, it's spoilers. It's this whole weird, convoluted story. They had it, like, locked up because it's, like, dangerous. Because it's, it's the culmination of these two warring factions.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's way more powerful than anyone could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
So it finally, like, got away and, it made its way to, like, a host. And...
The host was Jesse Custer.
Right.
Okay. And it picked him because... Comic book?
Yeah.
It just picked him because he's miserable at the time? Or?
Yeah, because, I guess, he's worthy. I haven't finished it.
Okay,
gotcha. I'm, like, halfway through the story right now.
Okay.
But, like...
So, I watched the pilot 3 times.
I've watched it once, and I'm okay not watching it again. Not because I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's so different from the comics, and, like, I don't want to sound like that fuddy-duddy, it's not the Preacher that I know, but, like, I have to accept that it's its own story separate from the comics.
I really, loved it.
Okay.
I thought it was great. I can totally understand why they couldn't exactly take from the comic. They couldn't make it Sin City. They couldn't take it from the comic and put it on the screen. Right. For a general audience, that would maybe confuse them, I guess. Not really confuse them. Not saying people are dumb, but I guess...
Preacher is a confusing comic.
It is, yeah.
It really is. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's such a crazy story that, like, I have a hard time reading it.
I had a great time reading the first
I'm not
3
saying
issues.
I don't enjoy it. I absolutely love the comic. I'm just saying that, like, there are times where I have to put it down for a while. That's why I've been reading it for a year and I still haven't finished it. Mm-hmm. Because shit just goes so off the wall that I'm like, whew, okay, I'm going to put this down for a bit and come back. And, like, the show is out there and nuts too, but, like, it's more contained, which I like, but... My main problem, and this is what I was, like, dude, when you hear this, like, this is my main issue with the show. It's Jesse. He is not Jesse Custer from the comics at all, in my opinion. There are some little glimmers of the character that I've come to know in the show, but like, and it's not that there's anything wrong with Dominic Cooper's acting. He's a great actor, but, you know, his character on the show is like really, I guess, meek. And in the comic, he's all like rough and tumble, and like he's a straight up Texan. Like, he's just kicking ass and taking names. And granted, he does do that in the comics, but like, he's so reluctant, and like, I don't know. It's weird to watch, knowing that like what the character is like in the comics and seeing it translated to the screen now.
Okay.
It's such a different turn for the character.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, there are high points for the show. You know, for me, like, I think Tulip is by far the best part of the show, in my opinion. You know,
arts and crafts.
This is how you make a bazooka. Like, I love good. Tulip on the show. She's great. And Cass is growing on me. Like, I like his character. That scene with the cow was really funny. I was a little bit confused.
Give me a kiss.
I was a little bit confused by the airplane scene, but because there's a few different like groups that could be, because there's so much going on in the comics.
Right.
So like, I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So for me, the pilot, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
Damn. Okay.
Like a 6.5 if I'm being nice, because, you know, the backbone and the fundamental part of the story wasn't there for me.
Okay.
And I'm sure that, you know, we'll get more backstory, and they'll expand on the characters as we go along.
Gotcha.
But like, they set such a tone with the first comic for me, that like, I was immediately pulled in, and I was like, I gotta keep reading this. The show, it was like, I saw it and I was like, I mean, like, my rule is always, I give it 3 episodes.
3 episodes, yeah, that's the general rule.
Yeah, if it doesn't grab me by the 3rd episode, then I'm done. So hopefully, you know, it'll pick up as it goes along.
Okay. Not to start an argument, I disagree with everything you said.
Okay. Hey.
I disagree with...
I'm interested to hear what you think.
You say the general rule is 3 episodes, and, you know, you can, you know, then you can get hooked on it, kind of, right? This first episode grabbed me and French kissed the hell out of me.
Hey.
This episode, like, okay.
Great for you, but hey, it didn't do much for me.
I mean, like, look, I can't speak for the comic book because, like I said, I only read 3 issues. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like you know, it's 2 different points of view. You're coming into this from reading it.
Right.
I'm coming into it reading only 3 issues, not really knowing what's going on.
Which is why I feel like I was going to say that, like, I feel like the general audience watching the show is going to have a much different experience than
I showed it to my mom. Mm-hmm. She loved it.
I'd be interested to see what my mom thinks.
Yeah.
She'll probably hate it.
Yeah, I showed it to my mom. She understood what was going on, and I think they did a good job of explaining what's going on.
I'm not saying that they didn't do a good job of explaining. I'm just saying that, like, there's so much more to it. Yeah. And the way that the comic works is they take, like, it's a few issues, like, there's like 5-issue arcs or something. Right. And you get more and more backstory as the story continues forward, which I'm sure the show is going to do too.
Yeah, they're going to do
that. But,
that.
like, I don't know. It's weird to explain because they're giving some backstory, but at the same time, it's all over the place.
Well, look, it's like you said, it's the first episode, so you don't, give it 3 episodes. I want to go back to what you said about Jesse Custer being, you said he...
a rough and tumble Texan.
I think that he, like, because from the three issues that I read, I think they nailed him in the beginning. Like, remember that scene where, in the comic book where he was just basically calling everybody out at the bar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
they didn't have that scene, but you can see from Dominic Cooper's acting that he was giving up.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, dude, like, for instance, the guy that was following him around talking about his mom.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like, oh my God, you know, like what, like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, for instance, there was such sincerity in his voice when he gives the sermon in the beginning, and he tells them, "Can you please stop messing with the sign? That would be good."
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
it's not that there's anything wrong with his acting because he's really good. It's just it's a Jesse Custer on the show and Jesse Custer in the comics are two different characters for me. They're not one and the same.
Okay.
Because
I just think that this is the beginning, and like, you know, as it goes on, I think you're gonna change. I'm calling it. You're probably gonna change your mind. I guarantee. Like,
I hope so.
I guarantee you'll change your mind. I have a good feeling about this show.
Okay. I'm glad that you can be a bit more optimistic about it than I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, I really hope that, you know, as it goes along, I come to love the show. But for right now, I'm just going to say it's middle of the road for me right now.
Yeah. And you see how we can have a conversation without calling each other sexist or stupid?
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah. Like, I don't, like, look, you don't agree with my points. I don't agree with your points. But see, we had a, you know, we're not.
This is how we are adult.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. This is going to be more you, because I watched one episode last year, and I don't know anything about it.
It's Powers.
Yeah, it's Powers.
On the PlayStation. So basically, unless you have a PlayStation with the PSN, you're fucked. Because it's exclusive to the PSN, and it's like a, I don't know, it's still running, I think. It's a long-running comic book series called Powers. They adapted it into a TV show. It's interesting, to say the least. You know, it's a world where, you know, people have superpowers, and there's a group of normal humans who police them. That's like their own police task force that has to take care of all this shit and, like, clean up after them.
Oh, okay.
And it's really interesting because the main detective that you follow in the stories is a former superhero who's lost his powers, which is kind of cool. And what grabbed me when I heard about it, because I've never read the comics, what grabbed me when I heard about it was that the show is going to star Charlton Copley, which...
Fuck man! He's the fuck man.
Yeah. He's Vicus... I don't know how to fucking pronounce it.
My name is Vicus?
Vicus Vandermeer.
I liked him in Elysium, too.
Yeah.
When he was walking down the hallway, you fucking hear that? That's me coming for you! Like, I think that's great.
I love the way that guy talks. Like, if you ever, like, see him in interviews, like, he's a fucking breath of fresh air.
Accent.
Yeah, he's fucking... I wish I could talk
like
that.
I hated Hardcore Henry, but I liked him in it.
Okay, I have to watch it now that it's on. Now that it's online, I'll probably check it out later on tonight.
Yeah.
But so it's a really interesting concept, and they have such a good cast because it's Charlton Copley, and I really wish I could remember everybody else, but the only other people that I remember
Michael
right now
Madsen's
is
in it.
In season 2. He wasn't in season 1.
Oh, the season 2 just started, right?
Right.
Okay.
Which is why we're bringing it up, because season 2 just came out today, and season 1, the big bad was Eddie Izzard, which is
he's
nuts.
a good actor. He's a good actor too.
He's great.
He was in Mystery Men.
Yeah, dude. He was in Mystery Men. He was one of the
disco dudes.
Yeah, the disco boys. That shit was so funny. But we're getting off topic.
Your baby bowler. That's an like Mystery Men is.
It's a really good movie if you've never seen it. It's so much fun. It pokes fun at like all the superhero tropes. It's great. But
sorry, one more time. Your baby bowler.
Powers is such an interesting show with such an interesting concept and such a good cast, and somehow it managed to fall flat. Like, I watched, because it's a weekly show released online on the PSN. I watched it every week faithfully, and somehow at the end of every episode, all I did was just It felt like
how
such
does
a
it
chore
fall
to
flat?
watch.
How does it? That's not a good sign. If it's a chore to watch,
It is.
I might skip it if it's a chore. That's how I felt with Arrow after a while.
Exactly.
But how does it fall flat?
Because, like, as interesting as the concept is, like, there's a lot of conflict in it because, you know, that deals a lot with, like, prejudice and, you know, people making assumptions on, you know, oh, they have all this power and it can't all be good. Which, true, you know, there are bad guys, there are good guys, but, like, a lot of people, like, humans don't trust the superheroes. So
I don't like them.
Fuck them, I don't like it. But, like, you know, it's really gritty and violent, and there's so many different elements to it that sounds
Is it TVMA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, they just straight up fuck you. Like, it's like they can say the F word, like, people die, and it's really gory. But, like, the effects are really shitty.
Well, then again, it's
like
on
they
the
don't
PSN
have,
network,
right? Like, they don't have
maybe...
the biggest budget, and they tell a really interesting story. But, like, I don't know what it was why I had such a hard time with it. Like, it was just missing some kind of key element that really just didn't, like, I just couldn't.
That's the
give
worst.
it like my. I really wish I could, like,
that's
put
honestly
into
the
words.
worst.
Yeah, I really wish I could.
That's
put
the
into
worst
words
when you
why I
see
don't
something really has potential and it just.
Yeah, because it's like a whole. There's like a murder mystery aspect to it, like, and there's this one character who she believes she has superpowers, but she doesn't. Nobody knows, and it's really ambiguous the whole time. It's like, does she or does she not have any powers?
I just picture her like Buzz Lightyear trying to fly out the window.
That does happen. She walks up to the top of a building and she's like, "It's okay, don't worry, I can do this."
Oh no. She's like, but no, it can't be true.
Like a bird in the sky, I believe I can fly.
Just like that.
So I'll try. She failed.
She died?
No, but someone saved her. But it's like
Tom Welling.
There's so much there, and it still didn't work. So I'm interested to see where they go with it in season 2, because, like, the story was pretty fucking wrapped up at the end. And you know what? Okay, here's something really funny. I watched the season finale, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep watching the exciting season finale, and I have not attempted to watch it again.
Wow.
So, I mean, I really wish that, like, I want to recommend this show, but I feel like I should recommend the comic instead. Although I haven't read it, I intend to. And I hope that, you know, they adapted this story for a reason, and that reason being because it's awesome.
Maybe if, like, HBO got it, or maybe,
that
like...
would be... I could see that.
HBO. It ain't... It's not TV.
Yeah.
I think that's their slogan. I don't know.
I'm not
a
remember.
slogan guy. Speaking of HBO, Game of Thrones, a Stark returned.
Yay! The return of Benjen Stark, what I've been waiting for 5 fucking seasons. Jeez. He was in, like, what, the first 2 episodes? And then disappeared, and then they mentioned him last season only to fuck Jon Snow over.
He came back and he was like, I renewed my contract, what's up?
He's like, hey guys, I'm back. Did you miss me? No one knows who you are anymore, dude. No, we didn't miss you. I did. I missed you, Benjen Stark. I missed you because that actor is fucking awesome, and he needs to be in more stuff.
He should have had a return like Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, he should have just came in and, like, pedigreed a White Walker. That would have. Although he did have a really awesome return, though. He had that flaming. He had, like, a flaming flail, which is hard to say.
Flaming flail.
He had that flail, and he had something else. I can't remember what it was, but it was really awesome. It was a really awesome action scene. You know,
sounds like a '90s band.
From a Flaming Flail. I would love. I would. Can we be that band?
I'd listen to them.
I've got 2 guitars. Can we be the Flaming Flails?
Only if we play grunge.
I was thinking more... never mind. Fuck it. Anyway, I thought that was a great return. You know, I'm interested to see where that goes, because I don't know if they're going to continue going, north of the wall, or if they're going to double back and go south of the wall. Because now with, Bran being marked by the Night's King, I think he can, track him wherever he goes. And they made mention, a small little nod to what I think is going to happen is, when Jon leaves and he talks to, what's his name, Dolores Ed, and he's like, don't knock it down while I'm gone. Oh, that shit's coming down, and I think Bran's gonna be the reason.
This is the best season so far.
So far, I would say last season was
your favorite so far?
Yeah, I would say last season was pretty good.
This season, to me, honestly, screw what other people say, in my opinion, because this season, something is happening every episode.
Yeah, and
that's why I like it.
But, my problem is I can't switch my brain off, the critical side of my brain. So, watching it, I know that, a lot of what they're doing and why or a lot of what they're doing, I can see right through it because I know it's, behind the scenes, people well, this needs to happen because this show is ending soon and we need to tie this up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's not that I don't enjoy it, it's just, it's really hard not to see the choices being made behind the scenes as I'm watching the show. I don't know if everybody else feels that way, but, that's my issue with this season. It's good, it's just, I know why they're doing what they're doing.
Okay. No, yeah. I totally get it. I don't know. I like that shit's happening. I love when Sansa met...
yeah, that was a good scene.
That was an emotional scene.
And,
that happened in the last
Littlefinger.
episode, right? No, I'm saying when she met Snow.
Oh, right. When
they met.
John.
I was then it hit me. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
they
that got
never
me in the
even
feels
really...
a bit.
Yeah, I was like, they haven't seen each other since, season 1.
Yeah, the last time they saw each other, technically they were both kids.
Yeah. That's, wow.
That was a moving scene, with the two of them. And I thought that, the guy who plays Baelish, Aidan Gillen, he gave a really good performance in that scene with him and Sansa. Granted, I feel like he was still trying to manipulate her, but,
he's great.
I felt like he was genuine, when she was like, did you know? And he's like, no, I fucked up. I'm sure he did, but, he honestly felt remorse. And that came through in his acting.
What's her name? One of the best parts was when Brienne was like, she asked you a question.
No, my favorite part was when he was... my favorite part was when...
Had the sword already. She asked you a question.
My favorite part was when Sansa's like, and if I told Brienne to kill you right now, then I shall die. I was like, oh, look at it. He loves her.
That's weird.
It's all fucked up, but he loves her.
You know what's funny? I was talking with my brother, and I was just like, how long do you think you would live if you were in the world of Game of Thrones? I was like, I'd probably die off in episode 3, season 1.
Yeah.
Some crap like that.
I wouldn't make it past the first season.
I would die by a boar. I would die by something like that. Wild boar.
I always like to think that I'm really good at talking my way out of situations, but I feel like I talk myself to death. I'd be like, yeah, I know how to do this. I can manipulate people. I'd immediately get a fucking knife through the throat or some shit because I said the wrong thing.
Was I the only one that really enjoyed the whole Samwell story?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Mm-mm.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was pointless.
It had a Shrek 2 thing going on.
Donkey!
At the table, just silently eating.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was...
She's a wildin'. A what?
Wildling?
I can't say
Wildling. What was that? Tonelok? Wild thing? Remember that?
Yeah.
Jesus, that guy's voice is made of gravel.
He was in Blank Check.
He was in Blank Check. Dude, I fucking loved that movie as a kid. I used to watch that movie all the time when I was little. I'm not joking.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't at all because that's not how that would work.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic.
Macintosh.
But, I thought that whole sequence was really pointless because it's yeah, I'm gonna drop you off with my parents because, my mom's nice, but my dad's an asshole. And then they're sitting down to dinner and it's so Dad, how are things? You're fat.
Yeah,
You're still fat.
I felt so bad when
You don't need any more bread. You're still fat.
I felt so bad when he tried to take the bread and his father called him fat because the bread looked good.
It did. It looked like a legit good piece of bread. But like, and it's like, oh well, Dad's still an asshole. Shit, we can't stay here. So why did we come here in the fucking first place?
Well, Sam,
they're still gonna go to like the Citadel. He's just gonna bring her with him. But now his dad and his family's gonna come after him because he took the sword. That was the only reason they went there. It was the only reason they went there, so he could have a Valyrian steel sword. That's it.
Samuel, don't die, man.
I'm pretty sure he'll probably die. Not this season though.
After Hodor,
I don't think he'll die this season.
After Hodor, it's like what?
He'll have like a heroic death, I think.
Hold the door.
Hold the door. It's so sad.
All right.
But I thought overall it was a pretty decent episode. I just thought we could have done without the Sam and Gilly part.
Well, you know what? I thought it was a nice episode, to let everything chill for a little bit.
Yeah. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Jesus, you're grading like a freaking adjunct college professor right now.
I'm sorry.
I graded you know what?
Because I don't mind.
A soft 8.
Okay.
A soft 8.
I thought that, I don't mind like the talky episodes where there's just a lot of exposition because that's necessary. I don't think it's boring. I personally like seeing, how the characters interact with each other outside of like action set pieces or like
there was no
big
Tyrion
revelation.
either, right?
Not that I really remember. No, the only like Essos scenes where Daenerys,
that was a cool ending.
Yeah, on the dragon.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But like, I would give it like it was a good episode. But like, your great episodes, like your 9s, is like funny enough. Pretty much seasons, like each season, episode 9. Like Hard Home.
Yeah, you ever realize like a big battle happens?
Yeah, it's
like
always
episode 9.
Yeah,
like that's where all the budget goes to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like those are like the 9s. I think that this is like solid episodes, but like the episode 5 of this season is like an 8 and 8.5.
Okay.
So like when it gets like to the exposition point, it's like I mark it down a bit because it's a little boring, it's a little slow. Yeah. I like it. It's not bad. It's just
I love a little chit chat. You know, I love a little talking, but it doesn't feel like a chore when I watch it. I get excited whenever it comes on.
Walking Dead's a chore.